Alright guys, Bearded Redneck here. I am going to show you how I skin a deer personally. There might be other ways you know that maybe work better for you, but I'm going to show you today how I do it. So let's get right at it. Alright guys, so first off, what I usually do, grab my knife, and my knife is a swing blade, so I can flip it both ways. But I use this one right here, the gut or the skin inside. All right, as you can see, I went around the leg and I'm skinning the tissue as I'm going down. Try not to hit the meat, just hitting that tissue there. This deer
the back tendon or something.
Was a little hard to get going here.
So you can
as you can
not
see,
to cut that.
I let it hang for 13 days, which there's nothing wrong with doing if the conditions are right. And I left the skin on, and the reason I did is because it works very well to protect it against frostbite or kind of like freezer burn on the meat. So I encourage you, if it's colder out, leave that hide on while you're letting it hang. Then take it off. I've had deer up to 30 days frozen, you know, out in the garage when you're doing a late season hunt. So, all right, so you can see I'm going around the other leg here, and basically I'm going to pull these both down here, and I'm going to have to get to the tail and then get the tail loose, and then I can start pulling down here. But you just want to go along here and get this skin to start coming down. And when you have to, you use a knife a little bit, and like I said, cut the tissue. You'll be able to see here some in a bit. I believe I zoom in out. You just go along and see that tissue right there, just right in between that and the hide. And you just kind of work along and get it. It's fairly simple to do. You just, if you go too fast, you'll know. You'll cut through the hide, or you'll start leaving meat on the hide. We're just going around here, getting everything ready to come down. We'll go back on this back side, see if we can get this pulled down where we can cut the tail. Let's see here. Get a little more right there. See if we can't pop that tail. All right, let's get right back in there. Let's break that tail off. And looks like we ripped a little bit right there, but that's fine. A lot of fat on this deer. Big old doe. Big old doe. Tail's still holding on. Good grief. Alright, we should have got the tail there. So now we got the tail down. Alright, so now we can start pulling down the sides. And like I said, I usually just put pressure on them, and I start slicing that tissue. It kind of hangs up right along where it meets the rib cage and on the back. There's usually a lot of fat on those on the back. All right. There we go. Once you get over that hind quarter, usually you can pull down fairly decent. So let's get this other side down there. And see that tissue I was talking about? Look at that. You don't even have to, if you're sawing with your knife, you got problems because it's not a sharp knife. You should just be able to kind of make one steady motion through. Okay, now we got past that hind quarter, so hopefully we can get down here.
That's where the arrow came out.
There we go. Look at that hole where that arrow came out. That is just ridiculous. Look at that. There's like 4 or 5 ribs that it broke through there. And it went through, but when this deer ran the 40 yards it did and was moving around and fell over, it just ripped a huge hole there. And that's where it went in.
Facing right at me.
It was a straight on looking at me shot. All right, let's keep continuing on here. And we'll pull down until we get to those front legs again. Then we're going to have to cut around those.
This steer's been hanging.
All right, let's get this other side down here.
It's been pretty cold though. Below freezing.
Get that down.
All right.
And once you get right to those legs, then we're going to have to cut that hide so we can peel them off of those legs. So usually, then we'll flip to that skinning blade. Once I can get in from that top side. Well, I think we got the regular blade. Yep, to cut it right there. Once I can get under it, about that elbow joint. Right about there. Then I can flip the blade just like this and just whoop. Go right down, and I go down to that next, like the knee joint or whatever you want to call it there. And I'll go right around that. So we got it loose, and then we got it cut all the way down to it. And once you get it loose like that, then we can peel it apart and get that leg off and get down to the neck. There's actually, on these bigger deer, there's quite a bit of meat that people overlook on those necks. Okay, there we're coming right past. We're starting to come across that shoulder. And we'll go around over here. We'll get this side going here so we can hopefully get this down here. Get rolling. Have to get a little bit out here on this side and the back. Alright. Now we're going down the leg. Now we got in there to that elbow. We flipped it around to the skinning. Whoop. Down to that joint. And see, I'm using the skinning knife and going right around the joint too. That's kind of nice because it's a curved blade. That's what I like about this Outdoor Edge swing blade here. So we went right around that joint. Now we'll have to see if we can get her down here. Get a little bit right on this shoulder. And yeah, I can go a lot faster than this, and I'm sure you can too, but you know, I like to take my time and do things right once instead of have to go back through and shave meat off or what have you. Alright, so we got around the leg. Up on the shoulder. We'll go around here. We'll get everything off this leg. Then we'll be able to grab that and pull down. Then we'll just be pulling down right on that neck and working to open up that neck.
Do this when it's a little warmer. That might help a little bit. I keep cutting it in.
Alright, so let's start getting that neck exposed. Keep working along that flesh. Start pulling down on that. As you can see, there's the neck. I know a lot of people that just cut them off level right with the body. And, you know, there's some meat on there. It's worth going after in my book. It adds up, especially if you got a few deer. And it's really not that difficult. Like I said, I'm really not going after this hard. But as you can see here, you just keep going. And you got it. I mean, I can do one of these deer pretty quick. But I usually get down to the neck at least. I get to the back of the jaw is usually where I stop. But it's kind of depends on if you shoot one in the neck or there's a lot of messed up meat in there, then, you know, obviously you're not going to probably go down as far because by the time you clean it up, there really won't be that much meat. But definitely, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. This is part of a series, so make sure you go to the next series. There'll be part 2 for this skinning. Make sure you go for that and watch that video because it'll continue on. Thanks for watching.